Hello everyone, my name is Beth and this is my Flosstube channel, Busy Bee Stitches. Welcome to my November update. First of all, I just have to say hello to all of the new people following me. I have had a big influx of followers over the last few weeks. I think primarily due to the fact that Seazook Stitches sent a bunch of you over to my channel to see my stash dive series, particularly the video where I talked about how I organize my stash. So thank you to her for shouting me out, and I'm so glad to see so many of you excited about organizing your stash. So please ask any questions that you have. I am so happy to help you navigate at least my way of organizing my stash. The best place to ask your questions is over on Instagram. You can find me at BusyBeeSillyMe. Feel free to send me a private message and I'll help you out however I can. So yeah, welcome everybody. So glad to have you. Thank you for joining me. And let's jump into how my November went. So, as I mentioned, I only worked on 3 projects, no starts, no finishes. It was a very chill month for stitching. I stitched on 18 days of the month, which honestly, I'm surprised that's so high. But I did have a lot of days where I stitched, 60 to 90 stitches because I was just trying to be really, really kind to my repetitive stress injury and let that heal as best as possible. It is feeling much better now. I still have to be careful, but it's feeling a lot better. I stitched for 28 hours in November, and that was like 3,000 stitches approximately, a little over 3,000 stitches. So compared to the like over 10,000 stitches I stitched last month, that's a big drop for me. But that's okay. All right, let's jump right into the projects that I worked on. The first project that I have to show you got the most amount of work in November. This is Harry Potter Covers Collage by Fox and Teacup. I am stitching the unattributed version for everyone new to my channel. On this channel, we know that it's okay to still like Harry Potter, but we don't support J.K. Rowling anymore. So, without further ado, I will show you my progress. So my goal on this was 2,000 stitches because I started this in 2019. And there's my progress. It is so hard to get the whole progress in here, and when I start going down even further, it's gonna be even harder to show this to y'all. I'm gonna have to stand up. But so I have the whole first row of pages complete, and now I'm working on the second row of pages, going book by book. So I spent almost all of my time in the book 3, page 2 row, and got all the way down to the page 2 line. So that was a huge accomplishment, and I love how this is looking. So I stitched on that for about 17 hours in November. I worked on this on 12 different days, so it was pretty spread out. As I mentioned, a lot of days under 100 stitches. And also, this project takes me a lot longer to achieve a stitch goal because it's so confetti heavy. So, I'm stitching 3 stitches in a color and then changing my floss. So that just takes longer. All right, the next project that I worked on was Pineapple Welcome by Jeanette Douglas. I'll show you a picture here. This was my 2021 New Year, New Start. So as a result, my goal was 1,000 stitches. Let me just stop for a second. For anyone new to my channel, please take a watch to I think it was my 2023 plans video that I talked about my breakdown of goals for this year. But I'm basically assigning stitch goals to like the start date of a project. So the start year defines what my stitch goal is. So for 2021, my stitch goal was 1,000 stitches. So that's what I did. Actually, I stitched 991 stitches on this because I didn't want to stitch 9 more. Because as you can see, 9 more stitches would have been like starting a whole nother section of the piece that I did not want to get into. So I left it at 991 and called it good enough. So I finished out the green on the first 3 pineapples, and then I stitched the green on the last 2. So now all I have left is filling in the middle parts of those last 2, and then on the bottom it'll say welcome. So that's all I got left on this project, so this is gonna be a finish next year for sure. Let me do a quick zoom in of the specialty stitches because they're gorgeous. I am doing the called for silks in the yellows, but the greens are my own DMC conversion. I think 2 of them are the suggested DMC, and then 1 of them I changed because the other 2 were too similar. And I really like the textural difference between the shininess of the silk in the yellow and the more matte of the DMC right next to it. I think it looks really cool. So I worked on that for 8 hours in November. And then finally, I worked on Silver Moon Tea by Mirabilia. Here's what that will look like. And I do my best to work on this on the first Friday of the month for Fancy Lady Friday. So that's what I did in November. I just worked on it for 1 day for 2 hours. So here's my current progress. I worked mostly in this gray section, and I was sort of like outlining where all that gray is going to go, so then I can do some mindless fill-in the next time I pull this out. Every time I pull this out to show you, I'm always like, one day I'll have some actual fancy lady to show you, but I think it's still gonna be a while. And that moon is enormous. I don't know if you can really see in the video how far down I am on the moon. I'm here, and the moon is huge. I mean, obviously, like, the lady is in the middle here too, but it's a lot of moon. And the counting of the moon, it's not just back and forth. I have to count to skip where the beads go. So it's a pain. All right, that was all of my stitching progress. Let me collect my haul so I can show that to you. So earlier on in November, I made a little trip to Color and Cotton in St. Louis. It's about 20 to 30 minutes from where I live. And I needed to pick up some things for a Secret Santa that I was participating in. And so while I was there, I also had to do a little bit of shopping for myself. I saw this project bag and could not resist. It is like my favorite size for a project bag, and it has such adorable Christmas time goodies. It has this gorgeous red and green polka dot, a candy cane zipper pull, and candy canes and holly on the back. I mean, what's not to love here? So this project bag is made by Straight from the Heart, and I love it. Next, I placed a 1, 2, 3 stitch order, also for some things for my Secret Santa. But again, I had to buy some things for myself. So the first thing I picked up was Evergreens and Peppermint by Stitches by Ethel. I have Snowballs and Icicles in my whip pile, but this was actually the first pattern of hers I ever saw. I think I saw it in Galleria 2022, I think, but they were sold out. So I didn't get this pattern then, and I've been thinking about it ever since. So I went ahead and grabbed it. I think it's so cute. Clearly you can see that I like Peppermint. And next I grabbed a pattern from a designer I've never seen before. This is designed by Kay's Frames and Designs. So this is the pattern here. And so it's a menorah on one side and a Christmas tree on the other. And it says, 2 traditions, 1 wish, peace on earth. So I don't know how old this pattern is. It might actually say on the inside. It is a hand-drawn pattern. I was not expecting that, but no, it says copyright, but it doesn't say copyright 1. So I don't know how old this pattern is, but you can see here there's no actual stitches here. This is a hand-drawn pattern. So in my opinion, that makes the pattern much harder to read after it's been hand-drawn and then photocopied. But it's a very small pattern, so it's not a big deal. And I think it's really cute. For anyone new to my channel who may not know, I celebrate both Hanukkah and Christmas. I come from a multi-faith family. So this pattern is just so perfect for me. I really love it. And finally, I bought a bunch of the same fabric. I bought 16 count fiber on a whim in the color Latte, and I bought 3 pieces of it in fat quarters. So I bought this with the intention of starting the Snowflower Diaries monthly series. I'll put a picture here of what that will look like. This is a free pattern, by the way. I think you can still get it. So I was planning to start that next year, and I got this fabric for it. I think I can fit 4 on each of these. I'm gonna do them individually, but I think I can fit 4 on each. So that was the plan, and I was like all kitted up and ready to start that. And then some of my stitchy friends decided to rope me into a different monthly series for next year. So I'll talk about that in my plans video. But now I just have these ready to go for when I start that Snowflower Diaries monthly series. All right, that's pretty much all I got. If you're into watching Flossmas, I'm posting videos every day over on my channel, and they are vlog style videos, so I'm opening several advent calendars. I'm opening the Black Needle Society Nice List box. I'm opening the Forbidden Fiber Co. A Christmas Carol box. I'm opening the Hello Bargello Yarn a Day box. And I'm opening a puzzle advent calendar, so you can see that in my Flossmas videos. And I'm also just like vlogging what I'm up to in the month of December. So, and I'm vlogging them a little bit in advance, so I'm actually staying on top of it and getting everything edited and ready to go before like midnight the night before. So feeling really good about that. Check out those videos if that's your thing. And what else can I tell you about? Because I have seen so much interest in my stash organization videos lately, I'm thinking about doing some more with that. I don't know if I'm gonna do like a live video or if I'm gonna do like an organize with me type video, or if I'm gonna host a chat to like all get on and organize together. But if you have thoughts, if any of those things interest you, or if you have other ideas, please put them in the comments below and let me know what you'd be into, because my stuff needs some work and I'd love to help y'all get started with that also. What else do I got going on? That's pretty much all I got. Oh, last thing is that I'm stitching some holiday stuff all month long in December. So I posted my plans for that on Instagram. So go check that out. I think I posted it as a story, so maybe I need to like make it a highlight or something so y'all can go find that again. But I have picked out, I've basically saved all of my holiday stitch goals for December. So I'm cranking out my last few projects that haven't been touched yet and trying to achieve my goals on them. So follow along with that over in my Flosstube videos and on Instagram. And yeah, I think that's all I got going on. I'm off to go to a Christmas market with some friends, and I'll see you over in my Flossmas. Bye everyone.